does the Sephardic culture of today in any way resemble that of Old Sfarad? If it is indeed very different, how so, and how did we get to this point? And finally, what can we do to revive this tradition?
Well, is it equal? Nothing is equal. If you don't change over 500-600 years in certain things, then something is wrong. You know, we have to change. We have to progress. But when we carry the basic principles, that is what defines a community. And so I do believe that in certain Sephardic communities, we still carry those principles of Chachmei Sefarad, of Yahadut Sefarad. Now, some of the details might be slightly different, but the principles, the Rikarim, the principles of the communities of Yehudei Sfarad and Chachmei Sefarad, many of the Sephardic communities still carry that. Of course, there have been some changes. Some of them are regional changes, some of them because we had Hachamim in between that many people revere and respect, and they may have added certain things. Look, the Yahadut that was practiced in the Midbar, or even during the time of Melachim and the Nebi'im, is definitely different than the Yahadut that was practiced during the time of Beit Sheni, of the Tanaim, of the Emoraim, and later on. It's a different Judaism. In what sense? Because Hachamim, they needed to adapt Judaism to what was happening. There were no more Bet HaMikdash, there was no more Korbanot, and so Hachamim, they had to create a Judaism that could be permanent throughout the diaspora. And that's the greatness of our Hachamim. That's why we call them sages. They're Hachamim, they had Chokhmah to see who is a wise person, the one who can see the future, the one who is able to understand what might happen in the future and how I need to do to maintain and assure the continuity of the Jewish people. And so throughout generations, many Hachamim of each generation saw the importance of maybe adding one paragraph, adding one sentence, adding one minhag, all to make sure that the community doesn't get lost and doesn't dissipate and doesn't assimilate. And so, yes, I think the Rikarim, as you know, the Rikar of Yahadut, we still have it the same. Believe in one God and the 10 Commandments, 613 mitzvot, you know, and the Masoret HaHalacha, Masoret HaKabbalah, it's all the same. There's certain differences because, again, region, history, and the different takanot of Hachamim that is important to maintain the Jewish people. And so we have a lot of similarities with Chachmei Sefarad, Yahadut Sefarad, with, of course, certain changes that are adaptable to the world in which we live in.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. And we wanted to give you our blessing also that you have a lot of success and you know, you're able to make waves in the bringing together of the Jewish people and the Arab Muslim people. You're doing a great thing. You're doing God's work. So we want to wish you all the best and success. And hopefully one day again, we get to speak with you.
Yes, thank you very much. And to answer the last part of your question is are we able to recreate that?
Yes.
And that is exactly what I'm hoping to do. With utmost modesty and humbleness, if I'm able to be that person who can recreate that in an Arab land together with our Muslim cousins, working together, strengthening each other and respecting each other's faith and religion, then certainly I think we are at the beginning or at the cusp of something great to come. I'll tell you, many of the Arabs that live in that area that have been in touch with me, they want to learn Hebrew, they want to learn about Judaism, they want to see the similarities between the two religions, and when I have discussions with them, they can't believe how close we are.
Yeah.
And some of them told me, I don't know, our parents have told us that Islam and Christianity are very close, that Judaism is far away. And we just realized it's exactly the opposite. Judaism and Islam are sisters religions. And I think because of political reasons, they tell me that we were distanced. He said, but it's incredible to see how we have very similar beliefs, similar traditions, similar things. And I try to, and they're flabbergasted. They're really amazingly impressed or want to embrace that. And they want to learn more about it to see Some of them told me, look, the original religion is Judaism, and then Islam came. And so we know where Islam is based from. So to understand our own religion, they say we need to learn the mother religion, Judaism.
Wow.
That we can understand better ours. And so I do believe we are at that period of history that we might be able to recreate that. It's really amazing. I tell them, look, take the word Hajj. The famous, in fact, the new Hajiri year just started last week. And this past month was the month of the Hajj. Where does the word Hajj come from? What is the Hajj? Right? The Hajj is the pilgrimage of Muslims to Mecca, right? And they go around the Kaaba, they do Hakafot. Now, what it's Hajj. Now, does that word bring something to your mind? Something similar in Judaism?
Sure.
Hag. The Hagim, the famous Hagim, are the three Shalosh Regalim. What did we do in those pilgrimage to Yerushalayim? And in Sukkot, what did we do? We did Hakafot around the Mizbeach. That's Hag. In Arabic is Hajj. But in Egyptian Arabic, they don't pronounce the J, they pronounce the G. So in Egyptian Arabic, it's called Hag. It's the same word. That has the same meaning. For us, it's pilgrimage to Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. For them, is the pilgrimage to Mecca.
Wow.
And so when you explain that to them, they're fascinated to see we are so close to each other. And therefore, we have to support each other. We have to respect each other. We have to learn from each other. And we have to be able to live together in peace and harmony.
Amen.